What I enjoyed most about my world tour that I took a few years ago was learning foreign sign language. They all look different, as you know. I learned Russian Sign Language, Finnish, Swedish, Norwegian, Irish, Spanish. I visited 25 different countries, and I found that I was able to learn sign language very quickly. Also, I found that I was able to completely erase them out of my mind just as fast, so I could learn another foreign sign language when I moved on. I remember when I arrived in Dublin, Ireland, I met many deaf people, and there was a very nice young couple, a married couple, who offered me to show me around town. Fine. So we spent the whole day visiting the big, beautiful town of Dublin. I was riding in their car. The husband was driving. The wife was sitting next to him so that she could point out the different sights to me. I sat in the back, watching. As she was explaining, I was learning sign language at the same time. But every so often, the husband and the wife would criticize each other, saying, "No, you're wrong. You're using the wrong sign." And they would go back and forth. I became confused. Who was right? Then I asked them, "How long have you both been married?" "Oh," they replied, 7 years. That's long enough to really be able to communicate with each other without any great difficulty. Why then do you keep on disagreeing on sign language? I don't understand. So the wife explained to me the reason why their sign language is not exactly the same. They both came from 2 different schools. Oh, I can understand now why they both never really agreed, especially when the 2 schools are far apart, maybe 100 or 200 miles away. I can understand why their sign language would be that different. But no, that's not true. They told me their school was in the same town and that they both were within walking distance from each other. And yet their sign language was tremendously different. I asked them to explain to me how it was that their sign language was different. How did it happen? And the wife said, well, the one school was run by nuns. That school was for girls only. The other school was run by the Christian Brothers. And that school was for boys only. So you see, for over 150 years, the Christian Brothers and the nuns were not on speaking terms. Both were not friendly with each other. They both faced the other way, and that explained why their sign language became increasingly different. It was really sad. What a shame. Can you imagine how the boys and girls felt when they finished school, met each other, and started to talk with each other, only to find out that they couldn't understand each other? She told me that it was not until about 4 years before that they finally set up a committee. They selected a few people to help unify the 2 different sign languages into one sign language to be spread all over the country. Really, I said. They worked on the 2 different sign languages, selecting some signs from the girls' school, which seemed better, or maybe some signs from the boys' school, which appeared better, or they would modify the signs a little. Then they would have a new book called the Unified Sign Language. They would publish it and distribute it to the 2 schools and to the other schools in the country. And now everyone is happy. Then the wife asked, "Do you know what we call this sign language now?" "No, what?" I asked. "Unisex language."